In the legendary cities of Greece, there was a very beautiful woman named Helen. From a young age, Helen was famous for her extraordinary beauty, which captivated the hearts of all who beheld her. She grew up in the halls of Sparta, surrounded by tales of heroes and the clang of swords in the training grounds. She was the queen of Sparta and married to a strong king named Menelaus. Some people said she was as pretty as a goddess. Her parents were Zeus and Leda. Everyone in Sparta talked about the love between Helen and Menelaus. They were married for a long time, and everyone was happy. But then, a prince from Troy named Paris came to visit, and everything changed. Paris had to judge a contest between three goddesses, Athena, Hera, and Aphrodite. Each goddess offered him a gift, but Aphrodite's promise of the most beautiful woman in the world won his heart. During his time in Sparta, Paris and Helen crossed paths. They were immediately attracted to each other, overcome by a strong sense of love. Helen was captivated by Paris's attractive appearance and charming personality, and he felt the same way about her. Despite any obstacles or barriers, their hearts could not deny the connection they shared. Under the light of the full moon, Paris and Helen snuck away from Menelaus's palace and sailed to Troy. They got married in King Priam's lavish halls, despite the odds against them. When Menelaus woke up and realized his wife was gone, he was devastated and furious. He called upon all the Greek princes and warriors to help him get Helen back from the Trojans. Agamemnon, the strongest of the warriors and king of Mycenae, gathered a huge army made up of 1,000 ships and the bravest fighters in Greece. The group included Achilles, known for his quickness and anger, Odysseus, who was clever and tricky, Ajax, famous for his immense strength and bravery, and many more renowned heroes. The Greek fleet set sail across the Aegean Sea, with their ships full of weapons, armor, and supplies. They faced many dangers during their long journey, including storms, sea creatures, and angry gods. After months at sea, they reached Troy and were determined to conquer it. The city's walls shone in the sun, and its gates were closed to all who came. The Trojans, led by Prince Hector, were ready to defend their city until the end. Hector was the oldest son of King Priam, and a skilled and brave warrior, who was loved by his people and feared by his enemies. The Trojan War was about to begin, and it would be the biggest fight in ancient times. The two armies fought for 10 years, without anyone winning. Many warriors died in the battleground of Troy, and even the gods were watching closely. The war had many stories of bravery and sadness. Achilles, the best fighter for the Greeks, fought with great anger and did amazing things on the battlefield. But even he couldn't escape his destiny. One time, he and Hector fought one-on-one in a battle. Their weapons clashed loudly on the fields of Troy. Sadly, Hector died from Achilles' spear. Before he died, he cursed Achilles and asked for his body to be returned to his family for burial. Hector's death was a sad moment for the Trojans, and it changed the course of the war. But even though they lost their greatest hero, the city of Troy remained strong behind its walls against the constant attacks from the Greeks. The Greeks wanted to take over the city of Troy, but they could not get through its strong walls. So they came up with a sneaky plan. They built a giant wooden horse and hid soldiers inside it. The rest of the Greek army pretended to leave. The tired Trojans thought they won and brought the horse inside, but it was all a trick. That night, the Trojans partied and celebrated, thinking they had won. But Greek soldiers hiding in a giant horse came out and let their army inside the city. The Greeks attacked with strength and cunning, catching the Trojans off guard. So the Trojans couldn't fight back. Even though Troy was considered to be very safe, it was destroyed by the Greeks, who fought fiercely and without mercy. Many people died defending the city, including King Priam. The queen, Hecuba, was captured, and the once great city of Troy was left in ruins. After the Trojan War ended, Helen was found by her husband Menelaus in the ruins of Troy. Though the war had taken its toll, she remained beautiful and returned to Sparta with him to live a quiet life. The war taught a lesson about love and betrayal, and how even gods can be involved in human struggles. The remains of Troy were a reminder of the consequences of pride and the fleeting nature of fame. But even in its destruction, the legend of Troy lived on through stories told by poets and storytellers for years to come.